going on with SnapFulfil? How are you both this morning?
Doing well. Good to see you.
You too. Good morning.
Always somewhere other than New Jersey, I feel like.
Yes, yeah. Brian and I live 20 minutes away from each other,
Yes.
but we always have to go to other states to see each other. So,
Good stuff.
yes. So great to get you in here. So for those that aren't familiar, just give us a little overview of SnapFulfil.
SnapFulfil, it's a tier 1 WMS. We're in the cloud. We implement across different customer bases, whether it's 3PL, e-commerce, medical, food, etc. And we've been around for almost 50 years. But in the US, we're based out of Chicago. Got a UK parent company as well.
Sure. All right. Great. And it's great to always get you back on. I think we're making this annual tradition at Manifest, right?
Yes,
the
better
two
than
of
Christmas.
you. Wow. I'm absolutely flattered.
That's
Yes, yeah. Thank you. Wow. Okay. So tell us a little bit about, Manifest is all about new, right? So what's the latest with SnapFulfil? What's going on?
Well, so the one great thing about Manifest is we kick off the year, kind of see what are the trends, what's happening in the industry, what's happening in the space.
Sure.
So we're releasing a market report out this year about resiliency within the operation, resiliency and downtime. I think it's perfect timing for that discussion. A lot of it, folks have been experiencing outages from either their provider or their cloud provider. AWS had some outages, and the impact on the operation is major. And we're seeing that it's top of mind for a lot of people, even more so than some of the AI activity in the space. Folks are really worried about the resiliency within their warehouse operation. So we went out, did a market research report with our partner Pesty, and so the results are here. Stop by our booth 178 to check out the report. But we're really excited because it plays really nicely into some plans we have at Synergy around product and what we will address with some new product releases coming out in the spring.
Oh, okay. Oh, we're teasing today. Okay. So from the report, I mean, obviously, like you said, I mean, downtime, resilience, right? I think everybody's talking about resiliency and how do we create that in the supply chain as a whole, maybe even just in life, right, too, as well. But when it comes to from a warehouse perspective, tell us a little bit about some of the findings in there. What were some of the key takeaways in regards to downtime and resilience overall?
So a number of findings around that has been, what have been the disruptors? The biggest one really being around, cloud, your internal network, external network, your internet service, power outage, cyber attacks, right? All of these have been major disruptors. And so around a warehouse, really, I mean, if we're thinking about systems and we're going in to replace things like paper picking and stuff like that, we need to be more resilient than the cloud. So what would the solution be? Is it a hybrid solution? Is it something else? And so I think taking care of each of those pieces of disruption. And then the other piece over there is the areas, right, where it's been the most disruptive. Is it shipping? And most of our customers, or most the results from the survey have been around, it's carriers and shipping. I can't get stuff out the door when a network's disrupted, or my picking isn't, I've got these at-risk shipments, how do I get them out, picking, put away, inbound, etc. And so kind of focusing in those areas and see how we can kind of help with, making sure an at-risk shipment, when there is a disruption, gets out with no, pain.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think one of the other interesting areas that you'll see in the report is how folks are tracking the cost of downtime. Is it something they're tracking as part of their business planning, or is it something that's very informal, or something they don't pay attention to at all?
Yeah.
I think the more sophisticated operations are seeing that the cost of downtime is significant for the operation, especially in the 3PL environment. Your credibility, your integrity comes into question. But to Smitha's point, it's not so much having a complete outage, It's when certain areas of the operation go down, it can be even more disruptive because you might be waiting for the next shoe to drop. You'll have doubt around, where can I operate effectively in the warehouse. So really trying to address that with solutions. Synergy was the first, one of the first to market with a cloud WMS back in 2007 with SnapFulfil. So we're expecting to be as forward thinking this spring when we bring forth our new product.
All right, well, we'll be looking forward to that definitely. But I'm curious, Smitha, you mentioned like a hybrid approach, right? Like a hybrid WMS kind of. So what does that actually mean? What is that?
Well, so we've seen in the past year a couple of big cloud providers, going down for whatever reason may be, right? And then their customers just in absolute panic. Some of those cloud providers have even talked about, I think in December came out, have talked about being able to support other backup cloud providers as well, right? Provide resiliency. We probably may look to take it a step forward. Why are we only thinking cloud? Why aren't we thinking on-site edge? A connection between the cloud and on-site or edge, but to have that resiliency, to have that, any time there's a failover or whatever, you've got a backup on site, in the cloud, etc. So it's around that. The other area obviously is again around AI, being point that if we're going to provide all these AI services, and there are going to be quite a few, at least 3 different areas of AI functionality that we would provide, we want to make sure that doesn't get disrupted, because at the end of the day, you need that continuous stream of data flowing to give you real-time AI-enabled functions and decisions.
Yeah, and credit to Smitha and her team for being really thoughtful about how Synergy deploys AI in our products. Rather than just sort of crowbarring AI functionality into our existing product.
You're not just throwing .ai on the end.
We're not just throwing .ai or saying our already efficient picking algorithms are now AI picking algorithms. We're being thoughtful about what types of AI agents we offer to our customers, and it's within this new architecture, so it will function as part of the whole system and function well. And I think being thoughtful about AI rather than rushing to bring something to market just to take advantage of the buzzword is going to position us well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's such an important thing. And you said something earlier, which I think was interesting, right? You're talking about being on paper picking and then making that transition, right? And in some ways, right, I mean, paper picking is super resilient, right? But in order to get to that, higher level of optimization and efficiency, right? Obviously, we keep adding kind of these technology layers, whether it's from a WMS perspective or from, automation, et cetera. But to your points, and obviously the findings in the report point to, when the power goes out, right? We're in a tough spot, right? If the Wi-Fi goes down, now we're in a tough spot as well. How do we create those workarounds to do that? So maybe this is prying a little bit too much for your spring announcement, but how are you at SnapFulfil? Like, how are you gearing up for that, and how are you addressing that? Like, if you go to a customer, for example, that's doing paper picking, how are you making sure that they also have the infrastructure that's going to help reduce the risk there?
Well, SnapFulfil as the cloud solution is still always an option, right? Not everybody wants the sophistication or the resiliency or can support that level of resiliency. You have to be somewhat of a forward-thinking operation. I think what we're catering to is the shift in the space. We're addressing the chaotic nature of supply chain right now, and some of the challenges that are being faced more and more by these outages, by cyber attacks, things like that. But when we go to a paper picking opportunity, or we go to a warehouse, we're going to assess what do they need, what do they require. We're going to offer them the best solution possible. Really, our focus, our new product is on those multi-site, larger networks of operations where you can't risk having your entire network down. You need to almost be able to operate independently with that hybrid solution. So we will still provide that scalable solution across the board from SnapFulfil, and then take it a step further with additional functionality and a hybrid approach to the architecture, as well as the AI components with the new product.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's so great to have that and be able to address that, because I mean, you're a former operator, right, as a 3PL owner, and I'm a former operator too. And I mean, certainly I've dealt with the times where power goes out, network's down for whatever reason, and we want to do work, right? We don't want to just tell everybody to grab a broom, right? So being able to keep them live and give them something to do, I mean, I think is a great thing. And obviously, as we layer on all the technology like we see all around here, we want to be able to continue to keep that running too.
Yeah, and I think 3PLs are uniquely affected by outages, whether they're power outages, network outages. Right. I've got the scars to prove it, so do you. Because the communication upstream is exponential. You're getting your customer's customer, who is now your customer. It becomes even more critical to have that resiliency and keep that uptime increased.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, that is a great point, because, we do have the customer, right? And, they don't understand, right? Oh, power's out, so you can't put my product in a box? Like, what's wrong with that? So very interesting there. And I'm curious from both of you, as we look at Manifest here, what kind of technologies, aside from SnapFulfil, are catching your attention or you're looking out for?
I will say some of the new automation, but definitely some of the new AI companies that have come about. I was sitting on a couple of sessions yesterday, and it's interesting because I think last year all the AI was focused on freight and ocean, etc. It's slowly moving in a meaningful way into the warehouse space and into automation. So I think some of that conversation has been pretty interesting. One of the pieces which was quite interesting was somebody asked a question about pricing, like how do you price this, right? And there's so many different AI actions you can have, workflows. It's no longer just like a chat bot, right? Or a dashboard or whatever. And so I think one of the companies over here mentioned it's still a big experiment all across the board, like your pricing models, what actually makes sense. And I think I'm looking forward to having more of those sort of conversations with other partners, etc. as well.
Yeah. What about you?
I would agree. The evolution of AI within our space is really what's interesting to see how folks are handling it and what's coming out to market, especially as we're ready to bring something to market as well. So seeing what's out there and how folks are managing it. And then I think it's really important that we know what puppies are going to be in the puppy park because our booth is right there.
That's a second mention already on the live stream of the puppies, I'll say. So. Yes. You're right next to the puppies.
We are right next to the puppy park, so you can't avoid us. If you want to see puppies,
location.
You have to see
Amazing location. Yeah. We'll see Brian over there with all the puppies crawling all over him, I'm sure. So.
Good stress reliever.
Definitely. So you teased that the solution is coming in the spring. So is this something like around MODEX, I'm thinking maybe?
We will probably be sitting right here at MODEX, or you'll be sitting at our booth and letting you know all those details. But yes, MODEX is the official launch of the new product.
All right, awesome. All right, well, thank you so much for joining us today, and we'll let you get onto the floor as we kick off Manifest here. And if people want to learn more about SnapFulfil, what's the best way?
Well, here at Manifest, it's booth 178 and snapfulfil.com, as always.
All right, well, Brian, Smitha, thank you so much for coming by.
Thank
you,
Kevin.
Always a pleasure. Thank you, Kevin.
Always. All right.
Again.
Have a good one. Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning into today's video here on our YouTube channel, the New Warehouse Podcast, and I appreciate you tuning in. If you liked what you saw, make sure you subscribe to our channel, and if you like this video in particular, make sure you like it as well. And if you want to get this great t-shirt that you see in the video behind me, Warehouses Are Sexy, head to warehousesaresexy.com and get your own.